Okay, y'all, now that my beef cubes are tender like I want them, I am going to add my chicken tenderloins. And it don't take very long for them to cook at all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn my fire back on. And I am going to add my chicken. Give it a stir. Right up in there with that beef. And you can, your sides, my husband loves rice, so I will be cooking a pot of Uncle Ben's white rice and zucchini noodles with this. You can have cauliflower with this. You can have zucchini noodles or cauliflower rice. But what I'm gonna do after adding my chicken, I'm gonna go ahead. I got 2 beef bouillons in there because I don't want to lose all the flavor I already have for my chicken and beef. So I added 2 bouillons with about a cup and a half of water. So I am going to let that cook. It don't take chicken tenderloins at all long. So I don't want to add too much water because meat makes water. So let's see how this is going to turn out. When I come back, I'll let you know whether I needed to add more water. So in the meantime, let's start with sauteing our tomatoes and onions and putting our sauce in it. So we're gonna add a little, let me just switch this over, do a switcheroo for you. I'm trying to make adjustments for my camera. I don't wanna move my camera around and all that stuff. So where you can see, just put a little olive oil in it. I almost grabbed the vinegar. My husband grabbed the vinegar one time. All himself cooking with the, grabbing the oil, and he grabbed the vinegar. This messed his food up. So I'm gonna grab my tomatoes and onions. Go ahead and put my tomatoes in. And I would say I would let these cook maybe about an hour and a half. The longer you cook them, the better. That's what my husband taught me. Just kidding. And your onions. But he did tell me the longer you cook them, the better, though. Maybe I used the wrong word, hot. Okay. And I'm gonna add my sweet peppers. Sauce at? Oh, 1 can of sauce? Yeah. Rinse the top of this off for me, please. Both of them. Appreciate it. Now to that we're gonna add our sauce. I didn't have my cans open already. We're gonna add three cans of tomato sauce. Me myself, I like using the tomato sauce, but my husband, he uses the tomato paste. But I use both. I use the sauce and the paste. And these are 12-ounce cans. And then the saucer your stew is the best for me. And if it's not salty enough, not salty enough, but spicy enough for me, with the red pepper flakes and cayenne pepper, during my cooking, I may add more of that. So this is 3 cans of tomato paste that I'm putting in here. I'm gonna put 2 cans of tomato sauce. And these are 15 ounces. Let's go ahead and stir this around. I am going to use one of those cans to put a little water, add a little water. Use one of these 15-ounce tomato sauce cans to add a little water. And you definitely have to cover up this, you know, sauce sprinkles everywhere. And I hate it. And what we're gonna do after we let this simmer, we're gonna bring it to a boil first, and then we're gonna let it simmer for like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. And then we're gonna pour it over our meats. I like mine really saucy. A lot of people may not put as much sauce in theirs, but I like mine. When my husband first started cooking this, I liked the sauciness. I used to get on him, why it's not as saucy as you know your other ones or something like that. I like mine really saucy, but a lot of people's just not consistent with what they cook, and I am not. I'm not very consistent with some of my cookings I'm not too familiar with. Can you rinse this spoon off for me, please? Thank you. So we're gonna give our beef and chicken a twirl. The chicken is almost done now, y'all. Told about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna let some of that, just let some of that water boil off of there because I don't want no water on that. So I will let some of that water boil off of that. Bring this, hurry up and top this up before it starts splashing everywhere. Bring this to a boil and let this not be back. And let me find the cover for this thing. You didn't bring the cover out? Top that is. If it start popping up, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. Water for the tomato paste side of it. You don't need to add any water for the tomato sauce, but just a little bit for the paste. And we're gonna let that cook. Bring it to a boil first, but I wanna top it up before it comes to a boil. And then I would turn it down and let it simmer. All right, y'all, so that's the next step. I'll be back when I get ready to add the sauce inside of my meat. All right, y'all, thank you for watching. Bye. Okay, y'all, now that my sauce has been cooking for an hour, about 20 minutes, I added it to the pot with my meats. Now, what did you do with the Maggi? I had my Maggi sitting right here on the counter, but it disappeared. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of Maggi. It's a seasoning for soup, sauces, and salads, vegetable dishes. A few dashes are sufficient. So I'm gonna add a little Maggi to this. And I would say I am going to let this cook about another 30 to 45 minutes. Smelling good, looking good. I'm gonna give it a taste and see the flavor of that sauce. A very nice flavor. So I'm gonna let that cook for about another 45 minutes. Come back and I will show you my next step. All right, bye y'all. All right, you guys. Now that my stew been cooking for about 45 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and add eggs to it. I already mixed it up, scrambled them up. So let's go ahead and add our eggs. We're gonna let our eggs cook about another 5 minutes until they harden up. And I'm not gonna stir them up or anything. I'm just gonna let that set. When it get hard, then I will stir it up. So I put about 5 eggs in there and scramble them up. Just make sure that nothing is sticking down there. Ooh. All right, y'all. I will be back with a nice plate of the way the food looks. And I will talk to you guys a little bit later. All right. Bye-bye.
For over 12 hours.
Must be that rice I'm smelling. The rice should be good.
Miss work.